Every school year begins with a brief overview of the 8 themes of social studies. In our first module, let's take a look at how thematic understanding can and will lead to powerful and authentic social studies instruction. In this module, we will focus on why teaching the themes is important. We will identify the themes and key concepts. We will demonstrate lesson ideas with resources. So why should instruction begin here? And why continue applying the themes to each standard or unit of study throughout the world history course? The Georgia Standards of Excellence was created to allow conceptual teaching and to provide students with an opportunity to make connections across social studies courses, historical time periods, and global regions. Thematic teaching provides a framework for organizing knowledge. This will help both you and your students over the course of world history. Teaching thematically also opens the door for inquiry-based teaching and learning. An intentional introduction of the themes will guide student development of the big picture while creating background for disciplinary thinking. In short, we do want our students to come out of any social studies classroom thinking like a historian, thinking like a geographer, a political scientist, or even an economist. Essentially, the themes are like power standards. These are standards that help our students connect new learning with old learning. If students can show understanding of each theme, students should be able to apply new knowledge and old knowledge while creating schema and making connections across the world history course and other social studies courses. There are 8 specific themes that should be taught throughout the world history course. These themes are often coupled with enduring understandings or larger concepts that are both universal and timeless. Not only does this power combination provide scaffolding for students, but the teaming of themes and enduring understandings gives students an opportunity to compartmentalize the specificity of content standards. Let's review each theme and each enduring understanding. Conflict and change. When there is conflict between or within societies, change is the result. Individuals, groups, and institutions. What people, groups, and institutions say and do can help or harm others, whether intentional or not. Movement and migration. The movement or migration of people and ideas affects all societies involved. Culture. The culture of a society is the product of the religion, beliefs, customs, traditions, and government of that society. Technological innovation. Technological innovations have consequences both intended and unintended for society. Governance. As a society increases in complexity and interacts with other societies, the complexity of the government also increases. Location. Location affects a society's economy, culture, and development. And finally, time, continuity, and change. While change occurs over time, there is continuity to the basic structure of society. So what will this look like in your classroom? The first thing that you'll want to do is engage your students. This can be done through an anticipation guide. To do this, you'll follow 3 easy steps. First, select statements for the anticipation guide. Statements should relate to the 8 themes and future events and areas of study aligned to the World History Standards. Student response. Create a graphic organizer that allows students to agree or disagree with a series of statements. Stretch students' learning by requiring students to explain their choice. Keep student responses in mind. As you delve deeper into content, refer back to the guide. When students can connect their thoughts to content, they are more apt to retain new information. Step 3. Reflect on statements again after completing the unit. Experience with new material may cause students to change their minds, and that's okay. If students can explain why they changed their mind, we know that that new content material has stuck. In this anticipation guide, students have 6 statements that are related to the themes. Students will read each statement, then check agree or disagree next to each one before the lesson begins. This should only take about 5 minutes of class time. It's important to give students an opportunity to compare and explain their answer choice with a partner. Let students know that they can clarify their thoughts in the space provided, but also let students know that this anticipation guide will be revisited at the end of the lesson. Once you have engaged your students, you'll want to take the opportunity to provide some direct instruction. In this direct instruction, you're going to explain the 8 themes and the enduring understandings that accompany them. Plan for purposeful direct instruction by following these steps. First, create essential questions. These are questions that reflect an enduring issue, understanding, concern, or debate. These are questions that demand the use of multiple disciplinary lenses and perspectives. There might not be one correct answer. Number 2, select relevant examples. Examples should relate to the 8 themes and future events in areas of study aligned to the World History Standards. In our 3rd step, you'll want to create supporting questions. These questions will support and extend the essential question or questions. They will represent the disciplinary knowledge that students must walk away from the lesson with. They will also reflect the skills and processes that our students must be able to do. The most important part of these supporting questions is that they anchor our formative performance task. Lastly, you'll want to select your means of delivery. Direct instruction does not always mean lecture. Find a way to provide the information directly to students that will help them understand the core of your lesson. Once you have provided students with content, give them an opportunity to explore. During this step, students will frame their opinion and your explicit direct instruction into their own context. This can be completed by allowing students to interact with a visible word wall or interactive word wall. To create the interactive word wall, follow these steps. Step 1, select categories or connecting themes for your unit and place them spaced out on your wall. You will want to create an image. You can use clip art or Shutterstock, or even find some really cool primary sources that align with the terms. Step 2, provide students with a graphic organizer such as the one seen here. This specific graphic organizer was adapted from S3 Strategy's Personal Vocabulary Journal. Step 3, have students peruse the room, view the images, and write a definition or summary of each word in their own terms. Have students illustrate the definition. Illustrations are about translating text into a visual, not about artistic ability. Then have students provide an example of each term in the real world or in disciplinary context. In the final portion of this lesson, we want to evaluate our students' understanding of the 8 themes. We can do this by having students create a paper or digital collage. Provide students with modern connections to the 8 themes. It's important to model what you're looking for in this very last step. Share pictures, newspaper and magazine articles, and other materials with students. Give students an opportunity to find their own examples of at least 4 of the 8 themes. Finally, students will create a paper or digital collage to show their understanding of the themes. The Georgia Standards of Excellence are designed for conceptual teaching and inquiry-based learning. An intentional introduction of the themes and integration as such will allow students the opportunity to understand the big picture. Remember to utilize Georgia Department of Education curriculum resources to support your work with students. Visit www.GeorgiaStandards.Org, follow the DOE on Facebook, and follow the DOE on Twitter.